so I can look down inside and see the little bubbles, because you don't want it to get to a rolling boil. You want it to get to about 160 to 180 degrees. That's your range. The ancient Chinese tea masters would call it fisheye stage, where you can look down, you can see these little fish bubbles, fisheye bubbles, looking back at you. So we'll be back when this is hot. The mate water is getting just about perfect. You know how when water boils, it gets quiet? Right before that, it gets loud, and so this is like perfect. This is what you want to hear. And so I'm going to stop that. I'm going to immediately place it into my thermos.
Oops.
Good, so I've got my water ready to go. Let's start off with the traditional. I'm going to grab my gourd. Now you can drink out of a regular gourd or a wooden gourd. I prefer a wooden gourd because it's a little less upkeep. With the calabash gourd or the actual true gourd, you just need to make sure it dries out in between. So I do use a calabash gourd from time to time, but I'll have to like alternate. So I'll drink out of my calabash gourd and then I'll go to this one. This one is a great, any wooden or ceramic gourd is perfect for everyday use.
Does it get mildewy?
Yeah, it doesn't get mildewy or anything like that. We've got our gourd. I'm going to reach for yerba mate. You're going to want to fill the gourd about halfway. I get a little greedy. I do it over halfway, almost to 3/4 of the way sometimes when I do mine. So mate is comprised of 3 different parts. You've got the stems or the paulos, you've got the leaf, and then you've got the pulverized dust. The dust is important. Now hear what I'm doing. Shaking it upside down. That gets all the dust to the top. And the reason that's important is for 2 reasons. It aids in the filtration process because it's going to wrap around this bombilla, and then it gets all the powder towards the top so the bombilla doesn't get clogged. And so then you've got this on your hand, and what do you do with that? So now people can see that and know that I'm having a good day. Then you come in, regular temperature water first. You pour it over the top. Just like so. And you want it to absorb. What that's doing is it's blooming the mate. You want to do this to prepare the mate, to receive the hot water, to protect it. Like I said, it's got so many vital minerals and vitamins. You want to protect that as much as possible. So sometimes you do this for about a minute, but sometimes I'll grab a cup or a glass. That way I can just set it down and let that really, really prepare. Like anything in life, the more preparation that goes into it, the better it's going to be. So I'll even let that absorb and come over again with some more, just about as much as it can handle. Now you can see it's important that you keep this part dry. This is your mountain and your water hole. So you want to keep your mountain dry, and that'll come into play later on in the drinking process. Your mate has had some time to absorb the room temperature water. You're going to come in with your bombilla. You want to hold your mate cup in this hand. I always put my finger up a little bit like a bumper because I'm going to actually lift that mate up and I don't want it to spill out. I grab my bombilla in this hand, and if you look at the shape of it, you're going to want to follow the shape of the gourd. And so you come in like this, come around, and your goal is to